when you were grinding away in CS:GO and before you're professional, did your parents support you?
So, well, the beginning not, because my father have a company and he wants me to be with him to help in his company. So he never support me. My mom sometimes he support me, but when I got my decision to come to play international, was hard in the beginning. They don't support me a lot, but after I start to win titles and start to prove them I make the right choice, they start to support me. So now everything's okay.
Well, there wasn't that much of a support when I was still like semi-pro and I didn't make money. But once we get into good placements in tournaments, obviously support came because they realized, wow, you can make a living out of this. You can get signed by the other team. How does it work? They all started being interested, and right now they are not missing any game. Even if you're playing in tournament in NA, for example, and they have to wake up to work in the morning, they still watch like at 4 a.m. So they're like really invested into the game right now. So they support me. But beginning was rough, as it always is, because usually the players don't get that good, and it's really hard to get like in top 1% or whatever it is, even less than 1% fraction. So they're all worried, obviously, because you don't want to get your kid addicted to the game, right?
Of course not. My mom was always going to my mom, you keep playing, get out of the computer to go do something better. What are you doing? But it's normal. I mean, if it was my son as well, I would do the same. I mean, my mom is 55. We can understand, like, she's from the 60s, so we can understand that, you know, like nowadays, of course, if I had a son, it would be different, but she was always, you have to do something better, my God. But I'm lucky that I was a good student, so I always did great in the school, so she didn't have much to say, because she would say, get out of the computer, go do something better. And I would say, Mom, look at my son, I'm doing great. Yeah, you can't complain, you know. And then I was just keep playing because I love it. So when it became my job, of course, she is my biggest fan. She supports me. She comes to tournaments. She cries. She celebrates. She's really happy with my life right now, and she supports me. But in the beginning, it was hard.
No, not at all. They made me like go outside every day at least, but they didn't support me, but they didn't stop me either. But they gave me like some days I had like, you have to get over your computer now, or some days I can just sit there all day. So.
And what point did they start supporting you? At what point did they see actually our boy Rain can start making a career out of this?
Until when I signed with Kingwin, that's when they finally said, okay, you can do this. Before that, it was like, get a job, go do something with your life.
I think I was almost lucky in a sense, you know, with the way it went for me, but any parent has the ability to support their kid like with what they do. So, and thankfully I had a really good mom. So, well, I still do have a really good mom who still does support me. My stepdad was kind of more there for just like trusting my mom. You know, he wasn't really like too into it. Now he is, but he was kind of just like, all right, you know, like I'll trust you. You know what you're doing. You know, my mom the whole time was just like, you know, like I'm just gonna let him do what he enjoys doing. You know, I mean, she encouraged me to do other things, but I'm a very decisive person on the things I don't like and do like doing. It's just even outside in real life. So, you know, I was just like, nah, I could try one time and say no. But she knew that gaming was what I loved doing, so she just allowed me to do that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, like my family, they are super supportive. I mean, like if I want to play soccer or I don't know, do whatever I want, they will support me. And when I say like, oh, I'm gonna like move to US to play CS, they're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just like hold the university because I was studying, and let's do it. If like you feel like you can't do it and something get wrong, you come back and we are here for you. That's it. My family's like really amazing.
Awesome, that's lovely.
Not in the beginning, but when they like realized you could make a living out of it, then they did. But not when I was just playing for fun, and not like I wasn't pro, but I was like just trying to become one. But as long as I focused on studies and stuff like that, it was all right to play, but not too much.
When you were growing up and playing Counter-Strike, did your family, did your parents support you, or were they like disconnecting the internet when you were playing too much?
I think everyone has been in a phase where the parents didn't really support you. I think thought you played too much. I've been there as well. But as soon as you start to like make a living of it, not because it's a bad thing, but just because your parents want the best for you, so they want you to get a good education and so on, right? And have a backup plan. But right now they are fully supportive, and I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, it's just like you go to school, do your homework, and then you're good. Like if you just
do what you're told to do, and then you'll have your off time. I guess like it's even the same for like when people tell me, it's just like, oh, like I want to go pro, but I'm just like, yeah, just like, you know, like stay in school, and just like if you're living at home with your parents, you know, like make your parents happy, and then like I feel like your parents are bound to compromise and help you out. Like I never know, I don't know how some people's parents are, but yeah, I just say just like, you know, just make sure you're doing what you should be doing. Make sure your parents are happy for like the kids, I guess, that are trying to want to become pros in the future or something like that. But yeah, I just say that.
At the start, when I was just playing with no salary or anything, they would tell me not to play. They want me to get off my computer, go to family parties or go outside, just be active. And at the time, I didn't want to. But obviously now it's different, so they do. But I understood from their perspective. But yeah.
I also had to lie one time to my mom. I told her that I was going to play a tournament, but I didn't say which kind of tournament. And Mom, I'm going to play a tournament. And at the time, I always played soccer, football, not soccer.
Thank you.
Football. I always played football, and my mom thought that I was going to play a football tournament, but it was CS. And then when I came back home, she was asking about the tournament. Oh, how many goals you made? Did you win the tournament? And then I had to say, Mom, it was not a football tournament. Sorry, it was CS tournament. And she was so, what? You travel to another city to play computer games? And she was so mad. But yeah, I mean, in the end, it's totally fine. And like I said, I understand everything, and I love my mom. Mom, I love you.
So when I was really young, playing like 1.6, my dad never really supported me playing CS at all. But you know, I just like kept up my schoolwork, just did everything, and I just played when I could. And in CS:GO, my mom has been like super supportive the whole entire time. And when I made the decision to go pro, there was no there was no arguments about it. She fully understood everything that I was saying, and she supported me the whole way through it.
Yeah. And when you were kind of like an amateur, what did you tell your parents to allow them to let you keep playing?
Well, I honestly didn't have that many problems like when I was in high school because my grades were good. So as long as I kept up my grades, I never really had any problems.
There you go. That's some advice. Get good grades and continue playing Counter-Strike.